All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Shirley Matthews presiding.
Good evening. You may be seated.
Your Honor, calling People v. James Crumbley, case number 2279989 FH.
Thank you, Mark Keast on behalf of people.
Karen McDonald on behalf.
Good evening, Your Honor. Marielle Lehman on behalf of James Crumbley.
Mr. Crumbley, can you hear us?
Yes, I can, thank you.
All right, you can be seated. I want to indicate, first of all, there was a question the media was dying to know about. I'm going to read that into the record. I consulted with the attorneys who answered the question, and so then I sent the question back in. They agreed on the answer. The jury asked, please define Article 16.13, bullet number 4, define willfully neglected and grossly negligent. The lawyers agreed to answer the question. Please see jury instruction 16.18 for the definition of gross negligence. All other definitions are contained within jury instruction 16.13. I also want to point out that there's a request by the media to ask the jury members if they would be willing to remain in the courthouse and be questioned off camera. Because there would be a verdict and no other defendant pending trial, I would have been willing to do that. But the courthouse closes at 4:30, and I have continually imposed on the courthouse for the sake of this trial and the other one. I cannot impose on the staff for the deputies any further. I also want to indicate that with regard to case number 22279990 FH, the People versus Jennifer Crumbley, there is an order restricting pretrial publicity. It was entered on July 14th, 2022. That order will be set aside as soon as the verdict is read. I will also be issuing an order that will obviously not be made public in the courthouse until tomorrow morning. In addition, case number 22279989 FH, the People versus James Crumbley, the same thing. The order restricting pretrial publicity was entered on July 14th, 2022, and that order will also be set aside as of the reading of the verdict. Are you ready for the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All rise for the jury.
Good evening. Good evening. Be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've worked very hard, and we've all been awaiting your decision. I know this was a very intense decision for you all to make. I believe you've selected a four-person. Who's a four-person? You're the four-person. Could you read the verdict, please?
Each count.
Sure.
Count one, involuntary manslaughter as to Madison Baldwin, guilty of involuntary manslaughter as to Madison Baldwin. Count two, involuntary manslaughter as to Tate Meir, guilty of involuntary manslaughter as to Tate Meir. Count three, involuntary manslaughter as to Hannah St. Juliana, guilty of involuntary manslaughter as to Hannah St. Juliana. Count four, involuntary manslaughter as to Justin Schilling, guilty of involuntary manslaughter as to Justin Schilling.
Thank you, foreperson. I'm going to ask Ms. Williams to hold the jury. So she's going to ask you each.
Jury in seat number 1, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 2, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 3, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 4, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 6, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 7, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 8, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 9, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 11, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 12, was that and is that your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Jury in seat number 13, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Jury in seat number 14, was that and is that your verdict?
It is.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I know how hard this has been on all of you, just by reading your face. I know this has been a very hard decision, and we appreciate your time. I'm going to ask you to return to the jury room, and I'll be there with you in a few minutes, all right?
All rise for the jury.
All right, you may be seated. Bond is revoked. Sentencing will be April 9th at 9 o'clock in the morning. All right. I'll allow both sides to speak to the jury if they're interested. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
If everyone can just remain seated. Okay.